Hey everybody, welcome to our last questions, comments, concerns for Threshold Relics of the Homeland. That was our last episode. That was my big boss fight. That was
Hey! Campaign down.
Yes.
Epic.
That one. Questions, comments, concerns, everybody.
Super epic.
I
saw Steven's eyes just like...
Oh.
Did I get skipped in combat?
Maybe. My list was messy.
Yes.
I did. I think. Well, so we got down to Gera on that last one.
Uh-huh.
And he did enough to kill Lunarius, so that was when combat got suspended.
Oh, but I go after Gara?
It was tossed, then you. In the order.
Okay, I think I did get skipped once.
It's possible. It was kind of
Okay.
messy. I apologize for
That's
that.
That's all right. I wanted the zombie to get one hit in.
I know.
Swinging
yeah,
head.
there was a lot
I
going
kind of
on
like
there.
that he's still just like...
That's his pre-programmed default state.
I love that because he keeps moaning out of the idea that it's like,
That's right.
Oh my God.
He's the body. He's
Yeah.
so dead.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I did a thing.
You
You
did
did
a
do
thing.
it.
That was great.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about spells because I feel like I haven't really used too many of them up until this point.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot about how spellcasting works, and I Stephen reminded me that cleric spells, you don't pick them and that's it. It's you have a list of all of them and you just choose them every day.
Yeah, you choose what to prepare.
I was working with some spells that I just kept the same ones the entire campaign. Because I thought it was you pick them and that's it.
Oh, okay.
So that's my bad. But I still had a lot of fun. It's kind of fun to look at what I had. It's like, okay, well, this will take 10 minutes, so I can't do that. And this one's a bonus action. And there's a lot of bonus action spells for clerics, which is really surprising to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but I was just like, this is a bonus action, this is a bonus action, bonus action. Where are my action spells? Like, where can where can I expend that?
I was amazed how
slot?
many bonus actions you had. I haven't really looked at clerics too closely.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
But
That orb hurt a lot. Many times.
Yes. Yeah, you failed like every single one of them
Yeah,
too.
every
I
time.
really like the mechanic of that, though.
That's cool.
So the whole... I'll have to talk to you because what you did today was the campaign, Last Colony campaign. You basically duplicated the ending.
Did I really?
Of the
Oh,
Last
man.
Colony campaign. That's without us ever having played it.
Oh.
So
Well, all right then. Well,
because we never finished that.
yeah, we'll have to
So,
talk some more about that. That's an unaired campaign that we scrapped
for scheduling reasons.
for scheduling purposes. But oh man, okay, that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
So I was very pleasantly surprised.
Oh, good. Okay, good. You're not like you broke something.
No.
Okay, good.
No,
Perfect.
I'm very, very, very pleased because it was basic like Sphere of Annihilation. Yes.
Yes.
So I was very
yeah.
happy because I think those are awesome.
I love it. Yeah, most of prepping for this thing, like the very beginning when I was starting to think of the campaign, I knew that I wanted like a lot of old magic items to be involved and stuff. So I just like took out the DM guide and read every magic item in it and thought of fun stuff I could do with them, especially because I knew I wanted the boss.
Cube of Force?
There was a Cube of Force. It was kind of a modified... Like, a lot of his stuff were based on magic items, but then I kind of tweaked them to make them a little more boss encountery. I took some of the drawbacks away from them. I made them work a little... Like, that was a Cube of Force, but I just kind of had a counter for how much you guys were doing to it, and once you reduced it to nothing. And, like, I did steal like, the Dispel Magic. Just it does damage to a Cube of Force when Dispel Magic is cast on it, so...
I
Stuff
have a
like that.
question for you. Gira made an investigation check last episode that revealed that the white orb had a similar shimmer that portals do.
Yeah.
We never learned whether it affected the portal network or anything like that.
You're
Now
right,
the
we
portal-
didn't.
Now that the orb is gone.
And we'll never know now.
Yeah, it's done. There's no way we could possibly address that in the future now.
Never.
Or you can tell
Never.
us.
I could tell you.
But I was totally... there was no point at which I could ask that, but
Yeah.
I was thinking that the whole time. Like, I wanted to save this thing, but...
Yeah.
I was trying to say, Lux. I was like, okay,
yeah.
she's still alive. She also gets hit points, and I'd taken Revify, and I was like, okay, as soon as combat's on her, as soon as I can get to her, like I'm gonna heal her, and
then
bring her back.
I saw what you were doing, and that would have messed me up a little bit.
Okay.
So.
That makes for a better ending.
Yeah.
And it was epic. It
Okay.
was a cool battle.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
I was really into it. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's still some stuff I need to decide about that white orb, but pretty much my idea was that it was sort of, in a lot of ways, an opposite of an orb of annihilation, and they sort of were existing in symbiosis, and it was preventing it from expanding.
Plane of Genesis. Or something
Yeah,
like
basically. But it was also like basically where that's like a whole, that's like a presence, and it was very much like it was linked to the ethereal plane a bit. And yeah, I didn't get too into the nuts and bolts of it, but that was the basic idea.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd really like to. I liked the way that it ended because I felt really like final, like the way a season of something should end. But at the same time, like, yeah, but now what?
So many questions.
Yeah, so many like what?
Yeah, I've got some stuff I want to talk to Steven about what is going to happen in the world a little bit right now. And then I'm not opposed to coming back to this at some point, maybe a little down the line, and just picking up.
Even if it was like a one-off or something.
Yeah, I would maybe we might come back in a Heroes episode or something at some point.
What's really interesting is like because we'll probably split up. I don't see us.
Yeah.
No,
I don't see the characters traveling together. Well, we can talk about what happened afterwards. In a minute.
Yeah.
You don't get to.
A lot of
talk about the session first.
Yeah.
Before we go down that rabbit hole.
Totally. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that could happen here. Anybody else have any comments? Yeah. You guys all roll really well, like consistently.
I made a couple good rolls that session.
Like the only thing you missed a lot of your dexterity rolls, so you took some damage. But as far as attack rolls and stuff, like very few flubbed attacks, except for poor Ferrix's freaking scorching rays.
Oh, that's okay. I hit with one.
You did get one. So.
I felt bad for Vox. He was choking on gas for so long.
Yeah, it was also that was meant to incapacitate way more of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have been like more even.
I just my
like even Volpina rolled a 20 on that one.
Wow.
So like, yeah, that ended up just hitting Vox, which was not my intention.
Well, that's his weakness. His weakness is physical things.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did that boss fight feel to you? Having constructed him, did it feel like you were powerful enough? Did you feel like you were too powerful and you were holding back? Did you feel like
I definitely didn't feel like I was holding back. And I think again, this is another issue. Is like single guy. I played with some legendary actions to try and help with the action economy, but I still I felt a little out action economied.
I was a little sad when you sent the slavers away. One, because I didn't get to kill them, but two. Just because I kind of had a feeling that would happen. Yeah,
I thought really hard about it, and I just couldn't, like, in character for them, justify them, like, hanging around after all of this. My original plan was for you guys to fight the slavers in the courtyard before the Lunarius fight even happened.
Oh, interesting.
And then but it sort of fell together that way instead. But, yeah, I don't know, after seeing all of that and having him kind of swing that orb into them with little regard for their lives and stuff, I couldn't really justify them hanging around and fighting for him anymore.
You made the right call.
Even though it would have helped a lot as far as like...
That is sort of, especially with a party of this size, where like we quintuple the number of actions, even with the legendary actions. I mean, you can take 3 per round, right?
Yeah.
But even still, like, we just have so many more actions than you do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's all. But the single boss always feels so cool.
Yeah,
you almost need
you want someone who's like strong enough to stand up to all of these heroes by himself, because it's kind of a cool idea. And I mean, the whole thing with him was also he was a little bit of an odd duck for that, because he's like not very like, oh man, if he had been able to hit anybody with that sword, that would have been another fun thing.
Was the sword in the workshop and we missed it?
No, it was actually something I thought up after the fact.
Okay.
What would have happened with the sword?
It has like a massive I had stolen and modified the life leech effect from the Rod of Lordly Might in one of its instances. So it was another way for me to like try and heal him. While also hurt, like it does like normal longsword damage, but then like a shit ton of necrotic damage, and he heals for that amount.
Yeah, I almost felt bad because I roll all my saves were like super good rolls.
Yeah,
I had the high AC.
He also like I should have given him maybe a higher modifier on the attack.
Maybe.
I didn't want him to be like a good fighter. I just wanted him to basically he's compensating for all of his shortcomings with these magical items, pretty much.
I thought it felt good, like the fact that he couldn't really land a sword hit. Like he wasn't a
it makes sense.
Yeah.
fighter.
Yeah, no, I think it worked out pretty well from a cinematic point of view, and I don't really regret how the fight went at all. I thought it went fine, but I definitely get like Steven's like.
The orb was great because he was hitting so hard that it put us all in danger.
That was sort of my solution. Like letting him move that orb is kind of a legendary action a lot. It's basically like once you guys broke through the barrier, I just let him throw the orb around as a legendary action while he got to do other stuff. And that was sort of my answer to keeping you guys sort of threatened and like letting him attack multiple of you at the same time while still doing other stuff.
Yeah,
definitely felt threatened by that, especially when I think Tiff attacked the orb.
Yeah, I like attacked the orb
and
like a ray
nothing.
from heaven, and nothing happened.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, oh, okay, so that's not going away.
Do we still have a bunch of healing spells?
Yes.
Oh god, this party is made of healing magic.
That's why I sort of felt like while the orb did put us on the defensive, it didn't really threaten us to the point where, because I don't think anyone. Well, I dropped below half, and you guys were.
I had
hurt.
like 1 hit point left.
Oh,
I was like super like, oh my god.
Yeah, Volpina had like 3 by the end of it.
That's why I did mass healing.
I never felt like we were, partly because I was card counting how many healing spells we still had a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though that doesn't necessarily affect what my choices are. Yeah, it's so hard with a party of 5 healers to threaten us without.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, yeah, he was kind of a big boss, but I also didn't intend for him to really be able to like.
He's not a deadly encounter.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And honestly, he was a little in over his head at that point too. Like,
yeah, it didn't feel like he seemed like this big baddie that ended up being weak. You know, like so. The way that things worked out felt
natural.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. That's
like he clearly was a guy. Like he's like powerful and he's got some powerful stuff with him. But like you said, he's not a capable fighter. He's probably not fought very much at all.
He's had a pretty cushy life actually. Like
I kind of love how much of a baby he is. Like getting hit in the face. And, whoa! I just love that.
Or like he's expecting to get hit and his armor catches it and he's like, ha. But
the Jad is the real hero.
He really had like a potion thing on him that he was gonna use.
Yeah. One of his legendary actions. I also wanted to. I felt like the encounter needed to start wrapping up.
Yeah.
But then you said you sewed his jaw shut, so I gave him a healing potion as a legendary action that he could take.
Oh man. I jabbed him.
But it was just too good. Like you happened to say that you jadded his teeth together, and I was like, oh, no healing potions.
No heals for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I had fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
This campaign was awesome.
Yeah, I thought
it was a great insight into like the whole elven culture.
Yeah, we're gonna all look at elves very differently.
Yeah,
that was my primary goal here.
Like before this, to me, like elves were Val. That's what elves were in Threshold. Now,
like flighty, spirity.
Yeah, well, like a lot of we saw some elf and other stuff, but that character type that like everything that was revealed was really revealed through Val.
Yeah.
So.
Val hasn't gone back to the Homeland because he doesn't want to fill out the hero returning home form.
Well, something else.
It's a long form.
Something that's interesting is that you look at this campaign and you look at Val and you think maybe just a little. Val's really human. In a way.
Val's also really young and has spent a lot of time with humans lately.
And so he's influenced by that. So I wonder what would happen if he went back to the Homeland and just like, how would he be ostracized for how he acts?
Always an idea that we've sort of been like
we've
toying
kicked that
with
around a little bit.
And we figured we needed to see the Homeland sans Vel before we see it with Vel, because otherwise the Homeland would have reflected Vel too much just because of the way that. So this was so good because now there's some like hard stuff in place. So like when Vel goes home, it'll be sort of these like the familiar going to the Homeland, which has a very different feel than Aaron.
Totally. So yeah, did you want to talk about some world stuff before we wrap things up here? Like, where's everybody feel like their characters are headed right now, just coming out of it?
Back home to have a kid,
yeah.
paid.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We didn't really.
Do we get paid?
I don't know.
That's an interesting question.
How many moons?
Gara probably gets paid still.
Gara gets paid through his union.
Yeah.
Union rate. Yes.
But Ferrex might have a hard time getting that payment. Especially, yeah.
Oh, what's that? Lunar pyramids, and there's a big chunk missing? Oh no!
Some sort of black orb? Weird.
Oh, how did that happen? Weird. Maybe you should pay people when you say you're going to pay them.
No, I don't think he's that bold.
There's a bit of a power vacuum at the top. I think Patrolunum actually has a shadow, but we didn't really see him at all because he was a shadow in kind. So that's an interesting little thing. Not necessarily a power vacuum, but definitely some change of management. There's going to be a lot of tough questions asked about what happened to Patrolunum.
I don't think Ferrex goes back. To be honest,
blame him.
Yeah, I think even Toss is probably going to be very, very much contemplating his oath that he's made and what his future is going to hold.
Great, love it.
He's probably has a lot to talk to Ferrex about. Just
buddy flick with Toss and Ferrex now. How far they've come. I assume Tiff's probably going to go back to Victoria.
She's probably going to go back. And she's honestly going to probably be the only one because apparently everyone else is bailing. Thanks, guys.
Can't blame him.
Gara's going back.
Yeah, Gara's going back to his
Me
life.
bailing
I know, but
means
like
not reporting you talking to a Necrosaurus or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You're probably thankful that I'm not going back and filing paperwork saying, oh, by the way, Lady Tiff, totally communicating with an abomination secretly.
I didn't know he was an abomination.
That would not look good on a permanent record.
Like, I can say, I think, especially because Tiff is the only really high-profile person that might be making it back from this, including Patrolunum, and Aurelius is going to find his way back eventually.
Right.
Let's just say tensions between the churches aren't going down.
Right. Definitely.
No, like not at all. So
that's super interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I want to talk to you about.
The fallout of this is
There's-
going to be
Because
pretty...
the elves have big plans now that their
Yeah.
god is back.
Yeah.
But what that sort of means now for the two churches, that's very interesting.
Yeah, we're going to talk some more about that because that was one of the big setups I wanted for the end of this.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that worked out. Vox, you just going back to Vox things?
Vox would probably just stay at that tree and just not talk to anyone ever again.
I love that.
He'd just be like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with any of the rest of this culture. You guys are all just assholes to each other.
If that is the case,
Yeah.
Ferrex might... Ferrex is super torn because he thinks that this orb should be hidden, but he also thinks it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And likes that.
Yeah.
But it's so unwieldy, like, just...
Especially now that amulet is gone bye-bye.
So controlling it's even harder now.
It's really difficult. So he might even just, like, say, like, look, Vox, can we bury this orb here at this place, and maybe you guys can watch it?
He'd let you do it, but he wouldn't say anything. He'd just point to the ground.
Fox doesn't talk
He's done
anymore.
talking to people now.
Oh, he has a vow of silence?
Oh,
He's done.
man. I love where this is going. This is going to be fun to come back to, like, with a little time passing. So
I think it would be really fun if there's some kind of deal, because I can make 3 zombies a day.
I gave him animate death.
So, I mean, technically we could just throw some zombies in this place and just sort of make it like its own little... He would probably like raise some zombies to help protect it and just like leave Vox as its silent guardian at the back of this tree
That'd be
and
interesting.
just bury it.
Makes it kind of like a cool dungeon.
Yeah.
It's almost like you wonder like how dungeons are
like a
made.
player-made
I think
dungeon.
this is how we build it. This is how we
like,
build the dungeon.
Yeah.
Especially because technically, if Vox keeps like gaining experience, he could become immortal, right? So,
do druids still do that?
I think they have timeless bodies.
If not, they should.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they do actually.
Yeah, they should. But yeah, so
there's so many paths to immortality, man. That's why Vox was probably another attempt to try and find it, just like the monks and all that. Like, maybe it's devolved into something else now.
It's probably the same method. It's just whether you do it through a strict meditation or
through
a commune with nature.
Very similar, yeah.
It's so interesting that there's so many different ways of immortality, but as far as once you're dead, you're dead.
Yeah,
you know,
like
that's kind of been Tiff's whole thing. That's why she was communicating with Necrophonics, because she's like, okay, a necromancer, obviously he can do something with bringing people back to life. Maybe he can pull Bishop out of the sword, pull Ben out of the sword and put him in a body, and he'll be back. You know, that was kind of her whole thing.
You could put him in Necrosaurus's body.
Well, when she saw what he was, it was like, okay, this is not the path.
Yeah.
But, you know, she believes, like, the only true path would be true resurrection.
Yeah.
Which even, you know, Matre's spirit cannot do.
Yeah, because we're basically pretty much nobody in the world that we've established so far is high enough level to...
No, except maybe an ancient gold dragon.
Yeah, like a dragon or
dragons,
or like a god or something like that.
So it's like... And true resurrection can only be done up to 200 years.
So clock's ticking.
And yeah, like we did the math, because if it was the last battle of Murray, it's like 186 years ago.
Ooh, clock's really ticking.
So it's like clock's ticking. So it's like, okay, this is a long shot, but hey, maybe this guy can help.
That's why there's that desperation there.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Oh, that's so great.
That was like the whole reason why she even decided to talk to him.
Yeah, and I knew most of that anyway. So that's
and like
that's
maybe
so awesome.
if she saves Lux, maybe because Lux is the child of Lunam, maybe Lunam can do something about it. You know, Victoria helped in some way. She kept his spirit, but it's like his body isn't here.
There's also the question of how Lunam is going to react to that whole thing.
I'm very curious to know, actually.
Yeah. Me too.
That will determine a lot of my future.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything? I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Back to reading romance novels.
That's right. Yes. Affections of Ardelia, A Summer's Dream.
Actually, no, I borrowed that from you. You don't have that right now.
You borrowed the first copy.
I borrowed the first one.
It's like the first 15.
I'm just saying, I have the first. I'm just saying, I have the first book of the series, so you don't have it anymore.
Will Toss ever finish that romance novel?
Stay tuned.
Only time will tell. Maybe we'll come back.
Books are longer or shorter?
Thank you so much for watching Questions, Comments, Concerns, our last one for Threshold Relics of the Homeland. Thank you for sticking with us through this campaign. I had a ton of fun, and I'm excited to jump back to the other side of the screen for the next one. Again, check out our Patreon stuff. Exciting stuff on the way for that. Check out the Hawkborn campaign, either on Twitter or on our wiki, which there will be links to happening down there somewhere. Please subscribe, check out the Patreon, all of that stuff. See you tomorrow for Afterwards, and thanks for watching again.